Am I the asshole for not inviting my sister to my wedding after she announced her pregnancy at my engagement party? Plus update. I30F got engaged last year to my amazing fiancé, Mike 3 to M, and we've been planning our dream wedding for the past several months. Everything has been going great, except for one major hiccup that has completely derailed my relationship with my sister, Laura to AF. To give some background, Laura and I have always had a pretty rocky relationship. Growing up, I often felt like I had to compete with her for attention. Our parents are wonderful, but Laura always seemed to take center stage. Whether it was through sports, school achievements, or just her bubbly personality. She was the golden child and I was more introverted, focused on my studies, and kind of stayed in the background. I didn't resent her for it, at least. Not openly, but it definitely shaped the dynamic between us. I felt like I was always living in her shadow. Fast forward to last year when Mike proposed, it was one of the happiest moments of my life. I was finally getting my time in the spotlight. My family, including Laura, seemed genuinely excited for me, which made me feel great because, for once, it wasn't about her. Right in the middle of dinner, when people were getting settled and the night was really starting to come together, Laura stood up and said she had something to share. I thought maybe she was going to make a toast to us or something. But no, she announced that she was pregnant. The room erupted in cheers and congratulations, and I just sat there, stunned. It felt like the air had been sucked out of the room, and suddenly the party wasn't about me and Mike anymore. Everyone was crowding around Laura, asking her questions and offering their congratulations. My engagement party had just been hijacked. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm happy for her. I know she's been wanting to start a family with her husband for a while, but the timing couldn't have been worse. I've worked so hard to plan this night, and in an instant, it became all about her. I didn't say anything at the time because I didn't want to make a scene, but I was hurt. Mike noticed and tried to comfort me, but even he was upset on my behalf. We spent the rest of the night playing second fiddle to my sister's news. After the party, I tried to brush it off. I didn't want to seem petty or like I couldn't be happy for my sister. But as the weeks went by, I couldn't stop thinking about it. She had a million opportunities to share her news, but she chose my engagement party. It felt intentional, like she couldn't stand the idea of me being the center of attention for even one night. I finally confronted her about it a few weeks later. I told her that I was hurt by how she handled things and that I felt like she took the spotlight away from me and Mike. Her response? She was shocked that I would even think that way. She said she hadn't planned it, that the timing just happened and that I was being selfish for making it about me. She even implied that I should be grateful she shared such happy news at my event. That's when I started to feel like maybe she didn't really care about my feelings at all. I tried to let it go, but it kept gnawing at me. And then, when it came time to finalize the guest list for the wedding, I found myself hesitating. Did I really want her there? Did I want to spend one of the most important days of my life wondering if she'd pull another stunt like that? What if she made another big announcement, or worse, tried to make the whole day about her and the baby? I made the decision not to invite her. At first, I wasn't going to tell her directly. I figured she'd find out when the invitations went out and deal with it then. But a few weeks ago, she called me to ask when she'd be getting her invitation, and I told her the truth, she wasn't invited. As you can imagine, it didn't go over well. She was furious. She called me selfish, petty, and vindictive. She accused me of overreacting to what was supposed to be a happy moment and said that I was ruining our relationship over something small. I tried to explain that it wasn't just about the pregnancy announcement, it was about the years of feeling overshadowed, the years of competing for attention, but she didn't want to hear it. My parents have also gotten involved and they're not happy with me either. They think I'm being unreasonable and that it's cruel to exclude my own sister from my wedding. They've even suggested that I'm jeopardizing any future relationship with her and my niece or nephew. But Mike supports me. He saw how much that moment hurt me, and he agrees that I have every right to decide who comes to our wedding. It's our day, after all. Still, the whole situation has left me feeling conflicted. On one hand, I feel justified in wanting to protect my day from being hijacked again. On the other hand, I know that not inviting her is going to cause a major rift in my family. Part of me wonders if I'm letting old sibling rivalry get in the way of a happy occasion, and if I'll regret not having her there. So, am I the asshole for not inviting my sister to my wedding after she announced her pregnancy at my engagement party? Am I being too harsh, or is this a reasonable boundary to set given everything that's happened? Update: a few days after the whole blow up with Laura, my mom and dad showed up at my house unannounced. I wasn't expecting them, and honestly, I was dreading any kind of face-to-face conversation after how things had gone down on the phone. But they insisted they needed to talk, so I let them in. It became clear pretty quickly that my mom hadn't heard the full story, or at least, not my version of it. Apparently, Laura had told her an exaggerated version of events, making it sound like I was punishing her over a trivial, harmless announcement. According to Laura, I had gone ballistic over something that should have been a joyful moment for the family. She completely downplayed how she'd hijacked my engagement party and made it all about her pregnancy. Mom came into the conversation thinking I was mistreating a pregnant woman. As I explained my side of the story, how hurt I was that my engagement party became her platform, and how it wasn't just about that one moment, but about a lifetime of feeling overshadowed, my parents started to see things differently. My dad, who had stayed quiet for most of the visit, finally chimed in, admitting that he'd noticed I was upset that night but hadn't thought much of it at the time. My mom, to her credit, listened to me and acknowledged that she'd reacted too quickly, taking Laura's side without really hearing me out. After a long conversation, which included talking about some other unrelated issues between me and my parents that we really needed to address, my mom finally apologized. She admitted that she had been too quick to defend Laura because she was so excited about the baby. It turns out, she'd also been feeling some guilt about how much attention Laura has always gotten, which I hadn't fully realized. She said she hadn't wanted to see things from my perspective because it forced her to confront how things had been between us over the years. In the end, both my mom and dad agreed that Laura had overstepped at the engagement party, and they said they would support me in keeping her out of the wedding unless she apologized. It was a huge relief to finally have my parents understand where I was coming from. However, when they spoke to Laura again and told her what needed to happen for her to be invited, basically a sincere apology to me, she refused. She's still insisting she did nothing wrong and that I'm overreacting. So, as of now, Laura won't be at the wedding. I'm sad that it's come to this, but having my parents on my side now feels like a weight has been lifted. It's not the resolution I wanted, but at least I know I have my family's support, even if things are still rocky with my sister.